I found that depending upon the organization, the size of the organization, the kind of industry, that timeline can vary on when you're expected to deliver results.
Sure.
So it's kind of like, if you're like in a startup, you better start delivering results right away. However, if you're in like higher ed, if you start moving too quickly in the beginning and you haven't gotten the alignment of tenured faculty and they're like, whoa, you're going too fast.
Whoa, slow this guy down. That was my problem, by the way.
Yeah,
that was me.
Yeah. So do you have any kind of thoughts? So I've seen sometimes that moment is day 3. Sometimes that moment is day, 203.
Yeah.
How can you tell?
So I would say 2 things, Brandon. Number one, hopefully you know your industry. You may not know exactly what the new job requires, but you know the industry in most cases. It's kind of rare for somebody to jump, let's say, out of the corporate space into the nonprofit world or vice versa, or even within, let's call it corporate industries, to be moving, pivoting in such a dramatic type of way. So you usually know what the pace of change is in various organizations, and you should be having, I talk about this actually earlier in the book, towards the beginning in terms of managing expectations for yourself and for those who hired you. What is a reasonable time frame for the kinds of things that we want to see done? Now, it's pretty rare for somebody to start a new position and nobody knows what needs to be done, and we're just going to go figure it out, and then we'll come back and revisit this conversation. In most cases, people already know what the issues are or what they'd like to see happen. So I think you can go into those initial conversations with a sense of realistic, let's call it runway. How much time do I have in order to convert between when I walk in the door and start to see meaningful progress? But at the same time, to have the presence of mind and the inner confidence and the open lines of communication with whomever you report to go back and say, you know what, I think it's taking more time than we need, or I think I can move this a little bit faster than we first discussed.